Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you've had a good weekend and that you're having fun and staying out of trouble. Finally, yesterday, just going to give you a quick update, real quick. I was able to actually drive all the way in as of yesterday. I brought the truck down all the way in. So, finally had enough meltage everything that I could actually drive down into the lower meadow here, which has been awesome. It was 2 weeks almost. It would have today would have been 2 weeks of not being able to drive in where I've been parking up on top. So finally being able to drive all the way in has been nice. Now the next step will be starting to work on potholes. There's a couple potholes that definitely need to be addressed in the driveway. So, but all right. Before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. Um, and so, if you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. All right. So, just putting that out there ahead of time. And so, just letting you know. Okay. So, let's have a good chat and we will go from there. But yeah, so that's like the biggest update here at the homestead. Most of the snow and ice has melted. There's a little bit residual on this side of the hill, but not enough to stop me from coming in or going out. So that's pretty awesome. I just saw an update of something, and I wanted to share it with you. There is a channel that I like to watch. If you guys have ever heard of the channel Desert Drifter, it's a gentleman that does hiking in the deserts, and he goes to ancient sites, from 5, 6, 700 years ago, and shows these different places in the desert. And it's actually a pretty cool series. If you've never watched it, again, the name's Desert Drifter. Desert Drifter, and the guy that does it, his name is Andrew. His wife just posted a video, like a 2 minute long video. He was in a severe car accident on Friday, and he's actually in intensive care with a severe head injury. She said fighting for his life. So, they're both Christians. And so, if anybody would like to pray for him, I would appreciate that. He seems like a really genuinely decent human being. That's what I really like about his channel. He's big into not messing with the runes that he sees, just videoing it and showing the different things like that. So, like I said, he's a genuinely decent human being. So, anybody that prays, I would ask you to pray for him, and hopefully he gets through that and he'll be okay. But really, really decent guy. So it's kind of sad, and he's young. I mean, he's probably in his 30s. If I had to guess, late 30s, maybe early 40s. So really decent guy. All right. So anyway, any of you guys saw the video earlier today? I got the puppies out. Oh my God, that was too funny. Um, and then after the video, I put them into the garden area and had Hella out there with them. And today was change out the straw day again. So I've been using straw in there for them. So yeah, they're big. They've gotten really, really big, and they're doing great. And so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, so I still have to sit down and figure out what I'm going to name the girl. Like I said, I already told you guys, the male is going to be Genghis. Right now, I still have two male puppies available. And so, I mean, if they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. Otherwise, they'll stay, and we'll figure out names for them as well. I like I said, I from the very beginning, I said whatever puppies don't sell, I'm keeping the puppies. So, it would be a lot of work, 5 German Shepherds, but three is going to be a lot of work. So what's two more, right? But if they sell, then great. If they don't, that's okay too. Ed, you could keep up with all the puppies out Could you keep up with the puppies all out in a few weeks? Well, like I said, they're gonna stay either close to me or they're gonna stay close to Hella, because she'll be out there. I haven't decided on a name for her yet. I really got to sit down and kind of figure some stuff out as far as that goes. She is, oh my God, she's big. She's gonna be a big dog. So there, So anyway, so that's what's going on there. Like I said, puppies are good. They're really healthy, and so it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, I've really enjoyed it. So all right. So anyway, moving forward, a lot of accidents happening, and I really wanted to address the whole thing with the Blackhawk um, accident. Okay, and so I saw it today, and I don't know. It came out that the female pilot there, that was on the Blackhawk. Okay, they were like, oh well, she was a huge Biden supporter, and and hated Trump and all this. Who cares about any of that? I mean, that is irrelevant in my opinion. Okay, the politics of the pilots has zero bearing on the situation as far as I'm concerned. Now, watching the film of that accident, um, it doesn't look like an accident. It doesn't. Okay. And I'm just giving strictly my opinion. I'm not saying that it was intentional, but it did not look like, if you watch the film, it looks like that Black Hawk made a beeline and just ran right into that jet. That's what it looks like. Now, I could be 100% wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about with aviation and all this type of stuff, and the tower telling them a couple of times, keep your visual, watch your space, all that type of stuff. Now, again, just from a layman looking at the film, you see the Black Hawk helicopter, you see the plane coming in, and you just see the Black Hawk make a beeline right into the plane. That's what it looks like. So, you know, like I said, I don't know. You know what I mean? So, Valkyrie is a great name for the girl with Genghis. Now, that would not be a bad name. Valkyrie would definitely not be a bad name. I have to figure. Like I said, I like that, Ricky Bobby. Thank you for that suggestion. I definitely will take that name into consideration. But I definitely got to sit down because I like the whole Valkyrie thing. Um, I do. I think that's actually pretty cool because that goes back with the Norse type of tradition. So that's actually pretty cool. So maybe never know. But anyway, a lot of stuff happening. You know, I had to laugh. I wanted to address this as well. So the nominee for um, the head of the FBI believe he got confirmed, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and so before he got confirmed, and well, as he was going through that process, the Trump administration, Blackhawks are fully equipped with high-tech technology. Absolutely no reason for that Blackhawk to be in the airline space. I don't disagree, JJ. And here's the thing. Let's go back to that for a second, okay? We will never know, okay, if they found out that it was intentional. Let's just say it was. Let's say they found out 100% for sure that it was intentional. Do you think that they would let us know that a pilot did that on purpose? I don't think that they would. And that, like I said again, I don't know. You know what I mean? They're always gonna. We're never ever gonna get the true full story of anything. So they I don't know if they recovered the black box from the jet, but I know that they got the black box from the helicopter. I know they got that one because that was in the news. But yeah, it's you know it's hard to say. Like I said, I mean, looking at it, it looks intentional. I mean, they got both, Patty. Okay, it definitely looks intentional. So I don't know. I just think it's a terrible situation. I think it's horrible for the people that died. regardless, intentional accident, whatever the case may be. The people that lost their lives, families that lost their loved ones, they're going to want answers. Obviously, that's a given. You know, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a terrible, terrible situation. Ed, they've been controlling aircraft remotely since I was in the Navy in 1969. Wow. Okay. It absolutely. Well, that was the other thing I was thinking too, Tony. If somebody took over the controls, right? I mean, and that is a possibility. Somebody took over the controls of the helicopter and did it on purpose. That is absolutely a possibility. I'm not saying again. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm not real big into the whole, it's a conspiracy and it's this or it's that. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of, you know, what's going on here, and then you got the plane that crashed in Philadelphia as well. And, it's, I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't. Sometimes bad things happen, and I get that. But when you watch something and you see something that looks 100% deliberate, there's a pretty good possibility that it could be. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't know. Like I said, I do feel for the families. It's a horrible, horrible situation, and that whole thing. But anyway, so what do we got? 257 in the chat already. We got 80 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so. Hi, to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time, and I thank you. And again, also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I do appreciate that as well. So, Genghis sisters were named Timalin historically, so call her Timu or Looney would be nice. Yeah, I'm not going to go actually with that route, but thank you for that. Thank you for that recommendation again. Genghis, I thought was a cool for the male because it's like Genghis Khan. What? Would you want to go outside? Do you want to go out? Yes. Guys, give me 1 second. The princess has to go outside. Okay. Okay. Relax. All right. No, when she has to go right now. So, but anyway, like I said, it's a no matter what way that happened with that airline and the Blackhawk helicopter, it's a terrible tragedy. That's a fact. Um, I have flown plenty in my life and dealt with a lot of different things. So they definitely need to review the rules so the helicopter and planes are not crossing the same airspace. I don't disagree with that at all. So I don't disagree with that at all. But Jane D says I'm almost on time for once. Not too bad. Not too bad. Um, but yeah, it just was something I was going to address with you guys. God, what was that? Oh, somebody had mentioned, you know, in the pavilion, you can see like mice droppings and stuff. Mice are going to get in there. I mean, that's just a fact. I do eventually plan on getting cats, but somebody was like, you need to get rid of the dog and get cats. First of all, I'm never getting rid of my dog. Never going to happen. Will I add cats with the dogs? Yes, but I'm never getting rid of my dogs. Oh my God, that's too funny. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think so. But I have known at least 30 fellow aviators who have met their maker. Scary. Yeah, it's, flying is not, I mean, when you really look at how many planes are up in the sky at any one time, there's a lot of planes, you know. It's crazy how ICE can find all these illegal immigrants, but can't find all the children that have been trafficked and are still being trafficked. Actually, Sunshine, I believe they've recovered like 88,000 children so far, if I'm not mistaken, from the information that I saw. Now, there's still, a lot of kids that are missing, but yeah, you live in the country and you're going to have mice. Exactly. So, and like I said, I do plan on getting cats again, and cats will keep the mice at bay. That's, you know, that was one of the big things for me as far as with food storage went. Why I want to put stuff in 55-gallon, metal drums. Mice aren't chewing through that. you know, it's not going to happen. But I definitely do want to get cats. I love having cats. So I do miss having cats. As far as that goes. Oh, I know what I was going to address. Another thing that was talked about, and I wanted to address this. Okay. Um, well, couple. Well, there's a couple things. So somebody kept saying, well, "Why don't you drive the four-wheeler up the hill and then, and then take your truck and then drive it back?" So here's the thing: if I did that, then you know what I would hear on YouTube? I would hear, "Oh, you're fat and you're lazy, and you got to take a four-wheeler up the hill and down the hill." Now, I don't mind walking that small distance up the hill or down the hill. Okay, I don't mind doing it. So that's why I did not use the four-wheeler. My first thought is not, "Oh, I'm going to be fat and lazy and just take the easiest way to do it." I walked up the hill. I walked down the hill. Um, that's if I had supplies that had to be brought in, I had to carry them in. That's just the way it went, and I don't mind doing it. Now, if I had an injury where I couldn't do that, then I would take the four wheeler. But I didn't. That's not the case. Okay, so, but yeah, it's just you know, and I understand the suggestion of people saying that, and to make it more convenient, but I've never really been, that person. I'm not looking for the easiest way. I learned the hard way. That I think you guys may anybody that's watched this channel knows that I learned things the hard way. I don't ever learn things the easy way. So I did want to address that. So oh, and the other thing I was going to address. Okay, so I talked about you know sad news from the homestead, right? And I talked about the greenhouse in New York collapsing, right? And that was a gift from a subscriber that watched the channel. They gifted that greenhouse many years ago, and so people were like, "Oh, well, that's your fault. You should have taken better care of it. You should have been using the greenhouse and heating it on the inside. Then that snow would have melted and it wouldn't have collapsed it, and in the whole 9 yards." And the reality is this: 3 years ago, I decided to leave New York and move down to West Virginia. Okay, that's number one. I was going to initially sell the property in New York, and my daughter and my sister wanted to stay there on the property. So initially, I had said, okay, if you want to stay here, you got to pay the taxes, and then you can stay here. I don't care. And then, if you guys remember, not last year, but the year before, I gave the property to my daughter because I want her to have her own place, something that she can say is hers, not have to worry about a mortgage payment or anything like that. So I gave that property to my daughter. So what have I done on the property in New York in the last 3 years? Absolutely nothing, because it's not mine anymore. Okay, and that's the way I look at it. It's not my property anymore. Now I still have some stuff up there that I eventually will bring down here. Yes, that I do have to do. Okay, but it's I people that I love the judgments, the snap judgments. You know, um, like I said, I am not doing anything up in New York anymore. That's not my problem up there anymore. It's not even mine anymore. So, but for those people that want to do those snap judgments and judge, thank you. I appreciate that. That's great. you know, one person's like, you need to take responsibility for that. So No, my son moved in with his mom, Kathy. Once Eddie turned 18, he didn't like rules, so he wanted to go live with his mother, and so she took him in at that point, and he's been living with her ever since. So there's always critics. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I no longer live in New York. Right. Yeah, I've lived down here full time. Last year, I was only in New York for 10 days, and that was for Thanksgiving. So, you know, but that's okay. People are going to say what they're going to say, and that's fine. I just kind of wanted to address it, put it out there so that people understood, and that's fine. If you want to blame me, that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I did not like the construction of the greenhouse. I will be honest with you. We did not get instructions when I got that greenhouse because people had asked me when I got it, where did you get the greenhouse? What company did you get the greenhouse from? And I will tell you right now, I would never recommend that company. I did not like the wood, the way that it was put together. It was just, I just did not like it overall. And that's just my own personal opinion. So I would never give them um, an endorsement, that company. And I never did. You would never go back and watch those videos. You'll never hear me say, I got this from XYZ company because I just wouldn't do it, And yeah, you live and you learn. Now, would I do a geodesic greenhouse again? Probably not. Okay. Eggs are expensive here in Los Angeles. $10 for 1 dozen. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, that's very expensive. But I will sell a dozen eggs for a silver dime. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But yeah, that's just a game that they're playing too, as far as like eggs. Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. So they cull a couple million chickens. I mean, what if even if it was, I think chickens they right? And let's talk about that for a minute. Thank you for bringing that up. It's actually an interesting subject. We're going to talk about that for a minute. But anyway, so they culled, I believe it was 20 million chickens. So that's why they're saying, well, now the price of eggs are more. Okay. You incubate chickens, and within inside of 6 months, you can replace that entire flock of 20 million chickens because you got all those other chickens and they're laying. And if you have a rooster, you can incubate them and you can have a whole bunch more chickens really, really fast. So to me, that part of it is not now in the short term, maybe go up a little bit. I get it, maybe. But how come no quail caught bird flu? How come, you know, we didn't see any? Was there? I thought it was like 100 million. Well, whatever the number is, Don, they can be replaced rather quickly. They really can be. Um, I thought that was a cool greenhouse. Oh, I like the design, Luke. The only thing I didn't like about that greenhouse is there wasn't vents on the top that you could open up and let that hot air out in the summertime. Because here's the problem with that greenhouse, okay? You had the vents for the windows on the side, which was great. In the summertime, it would get so hot in there, it would fry any plants that you tried to plant. Because we did use it for, getting stuff going and stuff like that. But it was a problem because there was no vents on the top that I could just open up and let that hot air get out. So it was always like ridiculously hot in that greenhouse. So, but anyway, going back to all these chickens caught this bird flu, right? Supposedly, but all these other animals were not affected. I think that's kind of strange, right? Doesn't affect other animals. I don't know. Just like I said, I'm a critical thinker. I think things, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't add up. But now again, we'll see what happens with that. Tariffs go into effect on Tuesday. Oh, so let's talk. Okay, well, we talk about a bunch of stuff here in this video, right? Canada cannot win a tariff war with the United States. I mean, that's just a fact. And yeah, no turkeys either. Yeah, exactly. Turkeys were all fine. Yep. Yeah. So Thanksgiving, the prices of turkeys wasn't, They still do the stuff. A lot of stores did it where if you spend, 25 bucks, you can buy the turkey for 49 cents a pound or something like that. But eggs are pretty cheap here because lots of people have chickens and sell eggs. Well, there you go. But so we're talking about tariffs, okay, for an example here. Canada cannot win a tariff war with the United States. So what does the United States want, right? What does the United States want? They want a secure border, and there's, well, only this percentage of this goes through and blah, 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 blah. And I've been saying, guys, for a long time, where everybody's focused on the southern border, the northern border is very porous, wide open. There's so many spots that people can get through, and they know where to do it. Like, I know that in New York, the illegals would come in and they knew where to go driving through New York to come up and go into Canada. It was a known spot, and they would go on a bus to there, cross the border into Canada, and that's what they would do. So, I mean, when you know where those spots are, how about you shut them down? How about you start vetting people? How, the whole thing. And the United States is just as guilty. This last administration, millions and millions of people came into the United States illegally. And so, and I love how certain people like to call them undocumented, no, you're an illegal alien. You came in here illegally. You're undocumented. Yes, you are, because you're illegal. You did it the wrong way. So, and the bottom line is always follow the money, folks. Okay, that's my biggest thing. Always follow the money. Now, first of all, is there a lot of child trafficking going on? Is there a lot of sex trafficking going on? Absolutely. So people are coming in from other countries, thinking they're going to have this great life in America and everything's going to be beautiful. And these people, a lot of these women and the kids are being sold into sex slavery, basically. And so turkeys are not fine. I live in turkey growing country, and it's nothing to lose 10K birds in one farm over a weekend. The catching crew have to put another full crew together to pick up the dead. Okay. All right, Randall. I thank you for that information. But Tony said, Ed, most people don't realize the frequencies have enormous effect on the fleets or feast. Have you heard of V2 voice to skull technology? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, with the frequencies and stuff. I've heard a lot about that too. One of the thing is now, like geoengineering, right? Cloud seeding's been going on since the 40s, and I've talked about that a little bit as well. And so they've been doing, and it's documented. So I'm not like, this is not like some conspiracy theory. I'm not making this up. They were doing cloud seeding in the 40s. So you don't think that in the last 80 years they may have perfected, how to do cloud seeding? Well, Dubai, right? They did that in Dubai, and they had all that rain that would, and it flooded everything. So the technology is there. You know, things can be done. And so you don't know. I mean, who knows what's going on or what their plan is or all that type of stuff, But as far as all that goes, it's of course costs will go up temporarily, but how else are you supposed to fix for a 4-year nightmare? Well, the thing is, I get the whole tariff thing, and the logic behind it, and it makes a lot of sense. And when you have trade agreements that are more favorable to other countries, and it's hurting the U.S. and so we get flooded with cheap garbage goods from Canada, or not Canada, I'm sorry, from China. Okay, everybody knows that, right? The stuff doesn't last. Ed, Disney put out movies in the 40s about cloud seeding. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they've been doing that for a long, long time. Uh, so what was I'm making I was missing. So a lot of these things that are happening, is it being done on purpose with these weather events? Like I said, I don't know. I mean, we've had weather events, guys, forever and a day. I mean, the blizzard of 77, 78 in Buffalo, I was there. Okay, so I remember that one. That one was pretty big, you know. Uh, you look at Agent Orange that they were using in Vietnam. There's some because Dawn just brought up Operation Popeye in Vietnam. They were using Agent Orange to try to kill off the plant life, and they said it wasn't harmful to humans, and of course it ended up being harmful to humans. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how many times we are told that something is perfectly safe and it's okay and we can use it, and then down the road when you find out, like lead paint, right? Look at lead paint is a good example. Um, Ed, do you think President Trump can get the Panama Canal from Panama? Oh, if we want it, Alex, yes, absolutely, because and I don't, they're saying that China's running the Panama Canal. I don't know if they are or not. I mean, I don't know enough information about it, but if we want it back, we'll get it back. I mean, that's just, you got to understand, yeah, fluoride in water, yeah, all that. So, but had they made that Agent Orange here in Missouri? Oh, well, asbestos, yeah, is another one. That's a great one, JJ. I mean, there's a lot of things that are very detrimental that were allowed to be out there. Fluoride in water is a great one. You know, please explain to me the benefits of that, or what we were told, you know. So, it's hundreds of drugs the FDA approved but later found out were harmful or fatal. Yeah, a lot of things, right? Yeah, Roundup pesticide. I mean, you think about all those guys that were working for landscapers that were using that huge, huge amounts, and then they find out that they have issues. I mean, it's on and on and on. It's on and on and on. The list of the mesh thing. Um, that the women were using. There was issue for that, issues with that, I should say. And but yeah, they used Agent Orange in Vietnam, Sunshine. Yes, they used Agent Orange in Vietnam, and they sprayed it from planes to kill the growth of the forest, so it would be easier for the soldiers. And that's why when a lot of those soldiers came home, they ended up getting cancers and dying from that. So, oh, the implants, yeah, they had silicone implants, had issues with that as well. But yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not going to talk about that, JJ, because I don't want to be doxxed for. And that's the other thing, too, guys. And when you talk about personal experiences that you've had as a parent, as a human being, what you've seen happen with your own children, right? And you talk about that, and YouTube's going to label that medical misinformation, and block videos and do those type of things. That one really pissed me off. I have my opinion. Okay, I saw firsthand what happened in my situation, and I'm not going to talk about what it was. And anybody that knows, I've talked, about it in the past, and I've gotten punished from YouTube, from their experts. Why is it? So here I have a great question. Here's a great question. Why is it, if the things that we are being given to our children, um, this that was given out, why is there a bylaw in there that says that you cannot go after big pharma? You can't sue them for any adverse reactions. So my question is, if there is no, this would be the question that I would have. If these things are so safe as we were told, right? Why would you not say, well, if anybody has any issues, we definitely will take responsibility? Why don't they do that, right? But they have it in there that you can't sue them. So what that tells me, and I'm just giving you my opinion on this one, okay? What that shows me, there is no checks and balances, so they have no reason, right, to make sure 100% that something is going to be okay. And I'm not talking just about this, I'm talking about anything. If there is no responsibility by the distributor of these things, then where is their moral obligation to make sure that they're okay, right? That's just um, that's just my take. There's no reason for them to make sure because you can't sue them anyway. And that's yeah, right. Isn't that crazy, Okie Forge? I'm not going to say that out loud, but yes, I don't disagree with what you just said on there. Um, but again, there's a lot of money into these, okay? A lot of money into those. And those companies made a killing. And at the end of the day, we paid for it with our tax dollars. That's a fact, okay? That is a fact. I just saw a thing, and I can't remember which African country it was. It got sent to me by a friend of mine. And there was a country in Africa that's pulling out of the World Health Organization, okay? And what the guy was saying, and I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's not true, I'm just saying what this gentleman said, because the reason they were pulling out of the World Health Organization is they were giving these for something else, not for what we just had happen. And it was supposed to help women. And then a lot of these women were not able to have children, or they had a lot of miscarriages. And this is what this guy was saying, and they felt that it was being done intentionally. So that was the reason that they were pulling out of that. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not in Africa. I'm not in that country. I haven't looked at the numbers. I haven't looked at any of that. I'm just going by what this gentleman from whatever country, and I don't remember what country it was, they were pulling out of the World Health Organization. You could probably look it up, and that was if you watch the speech that the guy said, that was the case. But yeah, it was very, very interesting. And I love it that when with the confirmation for JFK Jr. And I think I mentioned this before, when you had you was talking Bernie Sanders, and then you got Elizabeth Warren, or talking about, will you say that you won't go after them for your term, and then 4 years after, what is that, number one? And he's like, no, I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to sue them. And I love that. I just love that. But when you look at how much money, right, Bernie Sanders and I think it was Warren get from big pharma, that's a lot of money that they're getting, a lot of money. So would it not be, and this is just again another question, would it not be in their best interest to have the status quo not change? Right? They don't want that to change because they like getting that money. And if all of a sudden this guy gets in here and says, hey, wait a minute, no, no on this, no on that, no on the other thing, they don't like that. They do not like that. They're also funding one of the Dems' pork packages. They wasted 50 million on condoms for Africa. Yeah, what is that too? I saw that. Or there was also what was so much for Gaza. They stopped that as well. Condoms and for Gaza. I'm like, listen, those people over there are going to do what they're going to do, regardless. That is not our problem. We should not be funding anything like that ever. That is not our problem. If they want to continue to kill each other for the next 1,000 years, let them do it. It was for Gaza, yeah, okay, but that's insane. And you think all that money was going to go for that? That's a lot of prophylactics. So, what do we got? 354 in the chat, guys. We got 167 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to please ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. All right. So I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, it's, like I said, there's so many things going on. And I do believe that a lot of it is just distractions. Um, Whenever something is happening, you got to pay attention to the small details. You got to always pay attention to the small details. Like there was a somebody had put up a list, and it was actually very funny, and because it was they did it in a joking way, saying, "I can't believe that Doge would stop these certain programs," and it was like a list of 10 things that were like millions of dollars were going to absolutely ridiculous things, just ridiculous things, and they stopped it. They stopped that money going there, which I think is great, So, but yeah, it's just. Is there a lot of corruption? There's always going to be a lot of corruption. People are getting popped all the time. Politicians are getting popped all the time because they're so corrupt. And am I going to say that all politicians are corrupt? I would hope that not all of them are. I would hope not. I don't have a lot of faith that there is a lot of them that just have good intentions. I think a lot of times what happens is they may have good intentions going in, but once they're exposed to that kind of money that's there and available, I think that jades people. And and there's a lot of if you have dirt on somebody, okay, like you found out some information about somebody that they don't want to be put out there in public, right? And you use that as leverage to get what you want. So basically you would say, listen, I need you to vote this way on this proposal, and they're like, well, yeah, I really don't want to. And I'm like, well, I would hate to have to expose this that you're doing to the public. And people don't want their dirty laundry aired a lot of times. And so, does that happen? Does blackmail happen? Would not shock me. I'm not saying it does, and I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that that could be a tool that is used with politicians. You get them in situations, doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing, and then you get it on film. Well, I mean, that's what they were just saying, like with P. Diddy. He was filming a lot of stuff. Epstein as well, right? And here's what I find interesting. Again, so supposedly Epstein killed himself. We know he's dead, or they say he's dead. And then his girlfriend, she's now in prison. What about all the people that went to that island and were screwing little kids or young women, underage girls, right? What about them? Why have we not seen those lists? And why haven't those people been exposed and said, hey, here's a list of politicians that went there and were, banging out little girls, and we got the videos of it, and and all that. I mean, you'd have so many politicians that would have to, and big business people that would be, gone from their positions in disgrace. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just that type of stuff. That's what drives me nuts. But boy, I'll tell you what, folks, if it was me or you, they would lock us up and throw away the key. I mean, so, but yeah. But I wanted to go back to the head of the FBI now. So I want to talk about that situation again. So Trump is doing this big purge with the FBI, and probably for good reason, I would say, right? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure there was boys as well. Yeah, I should have brought that. Yeah, exactly. Okie Forge. Yep. JJ said that list will more than likely never be released to the public. I'm sure. I am sure. So, but yeah, it's just. But going back to that, they're doing this big purge at the FBI, and now you got the new guy coming in, and now there was talk. They're like, well, they need to bring him back and put him under oath and say, "Did you know that this was going to happen? I saw that article today." They were like all mad, because now he's been confirmed. I believe he's been confirmed as the head of the FBI, and now this purge has happened before he took the reins, so he could, say, "Well, I didn't know they were going to do that," and so then he can deflect. So, but oh yeah, Clinton was part of that. Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't Oprah there too? Didn't she go there as well? I mean, you look at the different things like Weinstein or whatever his name was out there in Hollywood, you know, and it was like a open secret that they did the cap or the casting couch stuff, and Trump went to the island one time. Once was enough. He didn't go back. Yeah, I just yeah, Oprah's girls' school over in Africa. Yeah, we saw what happened there. They went in and took all those girls out of there. Yep. So I remember that too. Yeah, Trump is telling them to resign or retire. Yep, I saw that. So, and all the people that don't want to come back from working remotely, they have until the 6th of February to come back to the office, or they're going to be gone. And good, they should be going to the office. If everybody else has to go to work every day, oh, poor them, they don't want to go to work. So, it's yeah, there's a lot of underhanded, dirty stuff that happens all the time, and there's a lot of corruption, unfortunately. I worked at the FBI in the 1970s. The first day, my boss told me I was working too fast and using up the work. Oh, wow, working too fast. That's crazy. Yeah. He's giving them an 8-month severance package. They just need to be fired. Yeah, it's who knows, I mean, it's just craziness. Randall B says Trump never went to the island. You think there would have been pictures all over the media? Yeah, I don't know if he went there or not, guys. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen any lists. There's been talk about flights there and those type of things. So it's just it is amazing to me, that they think that we're stupid. You know what I mean? That we're all dumb, and people. Like I said, it's like people voted for Trump for a reason. They wanted change. They didn't like the status quo. They didn't like that we were having Harris pushed down our throat. Here's something else I was going to talk about. I thought this was hilarious. Okay, Carvel. Okay, the Republican pundit, right? uh, Before the election, he's like, "Oh yeah, Harris is going to win. Harris is going to win. Absolutely, Harris is going to win." And then obviously she got her butt handed to her, which she should have. And there's a plane log for Epstein's plane. Oh, I know, Tony Blackmoon. I know they got that. They got that, and they won't give it up. They won't give it up. So now all of a sudden, Carvel comes out now, and he was saying, well, it was like starting the seventh string quarterback, putting her up there as the candidate. Oh, and now all of a sudden, because they realized, people didn't like her, she wasn't likable, she wasn't relatable, you know. Sonia said, I heard him say he went and it was a crap hole. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea. Lefties are going through the 4 stages of grief. Yeah, they're losing their minds. That is for sure. Um, but they're not happy, and we already knew they weren't going to be happy. Just because he got what is a pundit? He's like an analyst for the Republicans. That's what they call him, a pundit. He's one of those guys that talks about the greatness of the Democratic Party and all that kind of stuff. So, and I guess from what I understand, his wife is a Republican, which I find hilarious. So, but hey, Robert, welcome, welcome. Yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, guys, I I have stated before, and I'm going to say this again. just because Trump is in now doesn't mean we need to rest on our laurels and that everything's going to be great for the next 4 years. Okay, there's already been 2 attempts on the man's life that that we know of for sure, right? Does that mean they won't try again? Wouldn't shock me. Okay, especially because he's doing everything he said he was going to do. I mean, he's following through with everything he said he was going to do, and so that part of it is, I think, amazing. So, but it's amazing, like I said, that there again, it's not time to go. Okay, wow, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Um, doesn't mean we stop prepping. We continue to do what we need to do. We may have bought more time. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now, my big concern, and I talked about this, and I'll be really happy to say I was wrong. I thought something might happen between the time that he was elected and the transfer of power. Thankfully, nothing did. It would not have shocked me if something had happened, but I'm glad that it didn't. Okay, I'm really glad that it didn't. But that doesn't mean we're out of danger. Anything can change in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye. So we need to continue to focus on what we need to take care of, do what we need to do, and when the time comes, we need to take care of the people that are taking care of us. So I want you to, again. I'm gonna mention this because I think it's so important. You have 93% of the people in this country, folks. 93% of the people in this country are not prepared for a 2 week disaster, let alone anything longer. So that's 93%. You know what that is? That's a lot of victims. That's a lot of entitled people. That's a lot of your neighbors that are going to be looking to you if they know that you prep and going, hey, you need to help us. Okay? That's a lot of people with their hands out expecting help. Iran still has a $3 million bounty on Trump. Well, that's nice. But oh, let me get Ella back in. Hold on. Come on, girl. Ella, girl. There she is. Good girl. Good girl. Thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot she was outside. I just got talking and completely forgot. So thank you. So yeah, there she is. Yeah, she's like, why didn't you let me in sooner? Yeah, I generally don't let her sit outside for 40 minutes. Oh my God, that's too funny. Thank you guys. Oh, I appreciate that. I would have figured it out. I would have finished up the stream and I'd have been like, where's the dog? She doesn't go far, to be honest with you. So Denise says, I feel like now is so important to stock up on medicines. I agree. You definitely, if you have issues with anything health wise, I think it would be really important to get stocked up on those type of stuff. Over the counter medications, um, really important as well. Anything that you use on a regular basis that you don't even think about, you definitely need to be getting stocked up on those things. I know that we're going to be, as a group, we're I have actually a list put together of different things as a group that we're going to go, okay, I'm going to get this, this, and this. Somebody else is going to go, okay, I'll get some of this. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing here as well. What, baby? Hey, 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 come here. Come here. Ella, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come here, baby. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? You all right? But anyway, that's, don't stop stocking up. Get the information, guys. Get the books. I've talked about that a lot of times. Yeah, nails, building supplies, absolutely. One of the things, Delbert, that I've talked to about with my group down here, I said, get your supplies down here, okay, that you need to get for building, even if you're not going to build it right now. The puppies are out in the wolf slayer, Patty. Puppies are out there for right now. I still have two more puppies that need to go. And as soon as those puppies are gone, the other two puppies will be back in here with us, me and Miss Hella. So that's where they will be then, because somebody had asked about that. Um, but yeah, that's one of the things. Just a quick question for the group. Would you be interested in a small book on how to make your own powder from fruits and vegetables and spices? I'm writing a small book on it. Yeah, we'd love that, Don. That would be great. That would be great. So, okay, I was referring to non-preppers going to the store twice or three times a week. Oh, people do that all the time. Yeah, people do that all the time. They shop day to day, week to week. They have nothing. Um, yeah, Jace is a good way to stock up on certain meds that you're going to need. So yes, a cute puppy video today. Oh, thank you, Janie. I appreciate that. But yeah, they're growing so fast and they're getting so big. They're getting so big. They're a lot of fun. Like I said, I very much enjoyed them. But uh, but yeah, it's you need to be ready as much as you possibly can be, because like I said again, when the time comes, our game plan here on the homestead is to hunker down. We do not plan on heading out and going out and foraging or anything like that. We want to sit tight, take care of the different things. And if we're here full time and all the time, all the projects that we want to do and get done can get done. But you need to have the supplies on hand, which makes a big difference. So getting different things and getting things stocked up is really important. And then getting the tools also that you're going to need, that if we have to harvest lumber from the forest, to be able to utilize that and do that and work with that. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot, it can be huge. But again, um, our game plan as a group, we're like I said, we're not looking to take nothing over. We're not looking to be a militia. We're looking to hunker down, take care of ourselves, not bother other people, try to help our neighbors if we can. You know, I could hunker down here for at least 6 months. That's good, because after 6 months, there'll be a whole lot less people, Sonia. And see, there's the key, folks. The statistics given out by, okay, baby, stop, now down. The statistics given out by the government says that within 1 year of an event, if it was a major event, 90% of the people would be dead. And I don't disagree with that. I think that's a very accurate assessment. Um, Starvation, disease, you know, people going after each other, your drug addicts, your elderly in the nursing homes, your mentally challenged people, they're just not going to make it. Those people, anybody that's compromised medically, they're not going to make it. So, yeah, the weather, I finally was able to pull down into the lower driveway yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I actually pulled the truck down here. So, but yeah, like I said, you got to just be smart, be as ready as you can, buy yourself enough time to make a game plan. If you don't have a bug out location that you're going to, okay, I'm going to use this as an example. Let's say you don't have a bug out location that you're going to go to. What you have to do is you have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? So if you have a month's worth of food and water and stuff stocked up, let's just say you have a month's worth, okay? What that does is it buys you time to plan. That's what it's doing. It's giving you that window to go, okay, here's where we are. What are we going to do? Is it safe to stay where we're at? Can we bug in? Is it going to be safe to do that? Or do we need to go someplace? And if we do, where are we going? So those are things that you got to think about. You really do. You got to think about those things. And like I said, there's a lot that goes with it. And I think the more prepared you are, the better your chances of long-term survival are going to be. Now, do we have things perfectly ready to go here 100%? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It would be a transition. It would be tough. It would not be easy. But we would have such a huge advantage over so many other people because of what we've been doing and what we will continue to do until something does happen. So, because I honestly, guys, I do believe it's a matter of when and not if. That's what I feel. We cannot continue to do what we've been doing as a country. We can't just give everything away and expect everything to be great. It doesn't work that way. So, and again, there's always going to be something to do. But if I have my group down here and their families are here, believe me, we will be very, very busy, and there will be a lot to do. I mean, just fortifications alone is going to take time. So, those are all things that are part of that. So we got 345 in the chat. We're at 221 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask one more time. Let's see if we can get 250. Let's see if we can get, what's that? It's 39. Need 39 more thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 250. I'll stay on here for a few extra minutes and see if we can get up to 250 thumbs up just for fun, and why not, right? Well, that's 28 more thumbs up. So, again, be smart, keep prepping, take care of your business. That's the key. Like I said, again, just because Trump got in doesn't mean everything's going to be beautiful and great. We've bought more time. That's what we've done. We've bought more time, and I think that that's important to do so and take advantage of that time. And again, it's just nobody can do it all at once, guys. None of us can. But little by little by little, if we continue to work on things, we're going to get there. And then we just hit 250 on thumbs up. So thank you so much. I do appreciate that. So, but yeah, it's just, it's a learning curve too. And I would rather, and this is my thing, I would rather learn things now while it's not life and death than try to figure it out when it is life and death. Because when it's life and death, a mistake that you make can kill you or kill people that you love. And that's not a good time to learn how to make a mistake. So, anyway, guys, please, please, please be safe. Continue to prep, continue to take care of your business, and you guys are going to be just fine. I hope you all have a great day. I will talk to you all later and have a good night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.